Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Walters Wanderings Travel Podcast. And because it's May, we're starting my anniversary month, and I'm in the business now for 8 years. So 8 years of doing what I do, being a travel advisor. So my special offering all month long is if you book a cruise with me, you'll get $8 of onboard credit for each day of your cruise. So basically a 4-day cruise, it's $32 in onboard credit, 7-day cruise, 56, and so on. So if you book a world cruise with me this month, well, you can see you'll get a lot of onboard credit. But and speaking of cruises, I have with me Anthony Meloro from Royal Caribbean. He works in the main offices there in Miami. He doesn't get a tan though because his offices are indoors, but that's the way it goes. He's going to talk all about Royal Caribbean, and because it is a very important and large cruise brand, it is a brand that I just cruised on in February. Will impart some of my wisdom from that cruise and what I thought about the Royal Caribbean experience. But Anthony, come on in and let them know about how you got involved with Royal Caribbean and what your career path has been with them.
Well, Scott, thank you. Thank you for that introduction. Congratulations on your eighth anniversary. I'll tell you what, the role and job of a travel advisor is one that nobody should take lightly. And if it's up to me, I have my own personal travel advisor as well, and I wouldn't think about booking any travel without one. So, congratulations on eight years, and may you have eight times four more.
Well, that would put me at about 90 years old or so, but I'll
Yeah.
be still hacking away at whatever devices there are at that time.
There you go. Age is just a number, you know?
Well, it's true. That is true. So tell me about your history with Royal Caribbean and
Sure.
go ahead.
Yeah, so I started with the company. This will be my 26th year this year. I know I don't look like I could possibly be anywhere for 26 years. Thank you for saying, Scott. But it is true. I started in 1996, actually started in reservations. My wife and I moved down to South Florida. She was attending law school down here. And we packed up our U-Haul and drove our minivan down to South Florida. Didn't have a job in sight, a career in mind, and walked through the doors at Royal Caribbean, started in reservations, and I fell in love from day one. I just knew I was home. The company is such a great company to work for, very humanitarian, and obviously a great product. And starting in reservations, I worked there for about a year and learned the product really from the ground up. All the integral, details that you need to know about ship features and our systems and all of that. And then moved into my true first love, I guess, which is sales. Didn't know it at the time. Always, felt like I had a gift of gab, but never expected to have a career this long. And like I said before, it just kind of grows on you. And this has been such an amazing ride. So I started in sales in 1997. Started in a sales support role, working my way up to field sales coordinator, which actually handled back in the day before, almost before computers. We were working with our partners, our travel partners, on marketing and promotions and getting the word out there about Royal Caribbean cruises. And from there, I moved on to a newly formed at the time team, inside sales representative, and I managed a territory in the Boston area. So I'm originally from Massachusetts, and so this was again like coming home in a way, where I was able to work with and support many of my travel partners there in the Boston, New England area. So that was a great experience. In 2002, I moved on to our as a strategic account manager. That's what they're called today. Back then, they were called district sales managers or business development managers. And I managed the South Florida territory. So really going from Fort Pierce in Florida to Fort Lauderdale, and really was able to cut my teeth in terms of being able to work directly with our travel advisors on marketing and promotions and opportunities with cruise night events and ship tour after ship tour after ship tour, and really had a wonderful set of accounts. Actually moved on to Richmond, Virginia, and I managed that territory there in Virginia from 2009 to 2013, and I had an opportunity to come back into the office, and so I came back to the offices in Miami, moved my family. By now, I have 3 kids, and I moved my entire family back to Miami, and have been here ever since in this role as director of our business development support team. So we work directly with our travel partners like you in any of their sales and support functions that they need assistance with. I also lead our host agency travel relations as well as our industry relations. So we work with some of our larger industry organizations like Cruise Line International Association, ASTA, which is the American Society of Travel Advisors, and here I am now on your podcast. So my career is complete.
There you go. I guess the retirement papers will be handed in tomorrow.
No, not yet, not yet. I still have college to pay for.
Oh, that's true. I'm just starting that journey right now. My oldest is graduating high school this June, so I'm on that journey myself. So I
Congratulations.
certainly get it. Well, yeah, she's quite a young lady. She's a valedictorian of her class, so she's really rocking it. So
Amazing.
I'm very, very proud. So let's talk about Royal Caribbean. A quick history. How it started and how it's grown and where it is now.
Sure. So, I mean, you have to go back to 1969, so I won't bore you with all of the details, but what I will say is that, Royal Caribbean has really focused on innovation over the years, and so we've prided ourselves on being the most innovative cruise line out there, constantly pushing the envelope, getting feedback from our guests, and really putting activities and amenities on our ships that our guests have really asked for. So, whether it was one of our first ships, Song of Norway, way back in 1970, that was the first ship that was purpose built for Caribbean cruises back in the day. And if you remember, way back then, cruise ships were really built for transatlantic travel. And only until 1970 or so, when Song of Norway came about, were we doing these regular cruises from Miami into the Caribbean. And again, continuing to innovate through the 1980s with Sovereign of the Seas. That was our largest cruise ship at the time, largest cruise ship in the world at the time. And believe it or not, the wow feature on those ships at the time were the fact that we had televisions in every stateroom. So we've come a long way.
Well, that's certainly true. There's no doubt about that. And now, how many ships are currently in the fleet?
So we currently have 26 ships in the fleet, and we just inaugurated our newest ship, Wonder of the Seas. And I think this is the perfect kind of indication as to where we've come, right? So now the ships, it's not necessarily about the size, although it is the largest cruise ship in the world. It's 238,000 some odd tons. But it's really the amenities on the ships, right? So now these ships with neighborhoods on board, so Central Park, Aqua Theater, Boardwalk, really opened up spaces. So as big as these ships may be, there's many small intimate spaces around the ship that you'll find, and it really gives us the ability to pack in features and amenities that you can't find anywhere else except on Royal Caribbean. So
well, it's true. I can vouch for that because I'm going to talk about my personal experience from February. I was on the Anthem of the Seas, not the newest ship, but certainly not the oldest ship in the fleet. We went from New York and we went down and we went to Port Canaveral. We went to Coco Cay, the private island. We went to Nassau. It was a great cruise, and there were a lot of innovative things. And even though when at full capacity, it can hold a lot of folks. It never felt really crowded because of the way the actual ship was set up.
Sure.
And then there were a lot of nice different touches. You had different theme bars. So if you liked one particular vibe, You could hang out there. You could, go to another bar if you like that particular vibe. You could, lots of space outside on the decks, so you can go ahead and sun and all. But there's also a lot of covered spaces, solarium type spaces too. So
Yeah.
if the weather's a bit disjointed and not favorable, you're not going to get shut out from being able to go to a pool or relax and all of that. So there were a lot of different, for lack of a better term, nooks and crannies, but they're not small nooks and crannies. They're spacious nooks and crannies where you could certainly enjoy all the different aspects of the ship and the cruise.
Sure. What was your favorite activity on board?
Going up in the pod, the sky pod,
The North Star, yeah.
the North Star was unbelievable. Now it was a sea day. I would have actually maybe preferred it on a port day, but because of the way the schedule goes, it just wasn't going to happen. But even on a sea day, you're up about 300 feet above the surface of the actual ship, and you can see for miles because we had a nice, gorgeous day. You can see for miles out on the ocean. You can see little bunches of dolphins if you looked hard enough, and you could also find out where the open deck chairs were by the pool. So it was really quite advantageous that way. There is a little premium cost to it, but it actually was very worth it to go up for the amount of time we went up, and we really enjoyed it. My son and my daughter went with me, and we really enjoyed that. That was really nice. There's no doubt about
it. And that's I love that you said that, because that is one of those innovations that are really incredible. And then when you're that high up and you're kind of having this panoramic view of everything, and the good news is that, well, at sea, because everybody is on the ship while they're at sea, there is a small charge, really more for crowd control and flow. But when you're in port, there are no charges for those amenities, and I think that's what you find is a great combination of all of these included features: ice skating, rock climbing, the surf simulator, iFly, all of that. And it's just a nice balance between, if you want to find that lounge chair and just kind of hang out all day long by the pool, you can do that as well.
Well, I think that brings another point that's really important. And as far as the best type of vacation for value, I think I think cruising really does provide incredible value because of all the things that are actually included. And if you build on a couple of things that you add on, you can actually make it, for all intents and purposes, an all-inclusive vacation. You get your cabin, you get room service. You get your room service twice a day by the stewards. You get your food, all the food you can eat, basically, and trust me, you can go on as a person, you can leave as cargo. It's not that hard. You get entertainment every night. There was entertainment in the main theater, and every night it was very good. It was very good entertainment. And you have all the different places and spots you can go out and hang out. You have trivia and other games during the day. You have sing-alongs, karaoke. Again, if you want to pay extra for a drink package, go ahead. But you get like 15 drinks a day. So unless you're really like an incredibly thirsty person, you'll be fine. And it's really good. And also, you get to go to different places every day. You unpack once and then you pack again at the end. So versus other vacations, like if you're on a land tour, you're in a bus and you have to go to the next place and you have to unpack and pack. This is so much easier. And for families, it's definitely a good value because there's always third and fourth passengers in the cabin are always at a reduced price. So it's really good value. There's no doubt about it.
You don't have to sell me.
I know that.
I'm with you right there.
I understand that. Now, let's talk about some of the things that make Royal Caribbean different. There are a couple that come to mind, but I want to see if you pick off the ones that I have in my mind or not.
Okay. All right. So now I'm being tested, but here we go. So we have already talked about some of those only on Royal features, right? Central Park, Boardwalk, ice skating, all of those things. To me, the entertainment on board is really second to none. So from being able to find live entertainment throughout the ships, and one of my favorites, which you experienced on Anthem, which was Music Hall, and that is just this huge cavernous music space that has lounge seating and a great place to see live performances and live bands, and it just reminds you of going out to a concert, and that's, free and included. But don't forget the Broadway shows, right? So we have a total of 7 Broadway shows across our fleet. uh, Grease, We Will Rock You, Mamma Mia, just to name a few. And and to kind of put that into perspective, when you think about Royal Caribbean as an entertainment company, we hire over 1,500 performers each year, and we train them we have 135,000 square foot state of the art entertainment studio in Miami, and we're training them before they even step on board the ship. So over 100,000 guests are being entertained across our fleet, and we have over 141 different production shows. So just to give you a little bit of perspective on the breadth of entertainment. So if anybody comes on board a Royal Caribbean ship and they come back to you, Scott, and say they were bored, we have to reevaluate because there is just so much to do for everybody.
And on that Anthem ship, they had that other performance space, the 270 Lounge.
Oh, incredible!
They did an amazing creative show there that I just blew me away. And then they also had the silent party where everyone wore their headphones.
Yep.
And were dancing to either channel A or channel B, or doing whatever they were doing. And if you had your headphones off, you could watch and see and be a people watcher, which is always one of my favorite things on a ship. But you could put the headphones on and listen to one channel and be, doing your air guitar or whatever to whatever music. And then the other channel might have something disco-y, and then you're pulling your best John Travolta. It was really quite cool. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, tons of fun. You're right.
So there's a lot of things. Now, one of the other big differences the Royal Caribbean has, especially going to the Caribbean, are the 2, not just 1, but 2 private islands. Let's talk about those.
Sure. So Perfect Day at Coco Cay, I know you were there. This is, well, first of all, it's our top-rated port out of 270 destinations that we go to worldwide. It is our top-rated destination in the entire fleet of our ships. So it is based in the Bahamas, and it is home to the largest freshwater pool in the Caribbean. It is home to the tallest water slides in the Caribbean. And
you need elevators, though.
Well, we're working on those.
It's a long walk up those stairs. I did it.
You're going to get your steps in. That's for sure. That's why you can eat all you want, and you don't have to worry. You're going to get
145 feet up. That's 14 stories of steps. I'm just saying.
Incredible. Yeah, it's incredible. And truly, when we were building the island, it was like, okay, we need to find the perfect day for every one of our guests. So whether you like that high action activity and what we call thrill, you go to Thrill Island and you can go and enjoy the water slides and all of those high energy activities. But if you just want to chill out, relax on the beach and just hang out, then you go to the chill side and you can just completely unwind and relax there. Just listen to the waves lapping against the sand. Then we have the Coco Beach Club, which is our ultra luxury upscale private venue where there is an extra cost to get in there, but there's an upgraded lunch experience there with filet mignon and lobster. And we have the only overwater cabanas that actually float over the water in Perfect Day, and those are available as well for rent, and just huge home runs. I mean, I'm actually going at the end of the month, and we're renting a cabana in Thrill Water Park, and those cabanas, not only does it accommodate up to 8 guests, but it includes the tickets into the park. So it's just a great place where you can kind of throw your things down, come back to your home port, so to speak, and relax and enjoy, and then go off and enjoy all the activity around the island. Just truly spectacular.
I actually was in that Thrill Water Park area. It was amazing. They have they have the big wave pool, the largest in the Caribbean, the tallest water slides. They have other water slides. And then you can still have access to the whole rest of the island, save for that one little private nook there. I think it also, Coco Cay works to be sort of like, the old neighborhoods that you talk about on the regular ships. There are different neighborhoods with different vibes on the island. And they have shuttle service. You don't have to tender. A lot of the private islands for other cruise lines, you have to tender, and that's can always be a dicey situation if you're not liking the smaller boats. And so I know that Royal Caribbean put a lot of money and a lot of effort into it, and it's really, really quite good. Now, there's another spot, mostly for Western Caribbean cruises, that goes to Labadee, Haiti. Talk about
Yes.
that experience.
Another spectacular destination, private island. It's really been in our portfolio for many years. I can remember sailing there back in the late '80s, and it was really just a speck of sand off the coast of Haiti. And now it has really transformed into this beautiful space. We have an alpine coaster ride there. We have the longest zip line in the Caribbean, and just another great space where you can, once you get there, you can go off, spread out, and just enjoy the quiet beach if you want, or go off and enjoy activities around. There's a really cool straw market where you can get local art from artisans that live right there on the island, and just a spectacular experience.
That's real, and that's good to know that there's all these various things. So, no matter where you're actually cruising from, be it from Miami or Galveston or wherever the cruise may start from, chances are good you will hit one of these two private island places on your cruise.
Yeah, Coco Cay Perfect Day is on almost 100% of our itineraries in the Caribbean. So you're absolutely going to experience that destination on virtually any itinerary that you choose, from 3 nights on up to 8+ nights.
That's very good. Now, you also cruise to Europe, Alaska. You do go through the Panama Canal. The new ship, the Wonder, is based in Long Beach, California. So you do a lot of things, the Mexican Riviera. Talk about some of those things before we get to next year.
Sure. So this year we're really excited. It's kind of it's the beginning, if you will, of that sense of normalcy, or coming back to the sense of normalcy. By the end of May, we will have all 26 ships in our fleet sailing, and very happy to say, at full capacity. We are actually experiencing some of the most prolific booking periods of our history. So we're exceeding, March and April have exceeded 2019 figures, and 2019 was one of our benchmark years in terms of bookings, and so we're already seeing pre-pandemic numbers. So that's spectacular. First and foremost, we've got 4 ships that are going to be in Alaska this year. That's the most that we've ever had. And you mentioned Galveston, where we're actually building a brand new terminal there that will be open in 22 in the fall. And this is going to be a LEED certified space. So it's the one that's leadership in energy and environmental design. So that'll be certified for that. And it's just going to be this beautiful space to welcome Allure of the Seas, and that will be in the fall. You mentioned Navigator out of Los Angeles. First time in over 10 years that we're back to LA, serving the community there. 3, 4, and 7-night Baja and Mexican Riviera sailings. Of course, our home ports, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Port Canaveral, and Tampa, will all have ships there, from Oasis class ships, the brand new ones, to every ship in between, doing anything from 3 nights on up. We sail out of Cape Liberty, New Jersey, and of course we will have one of our newest ships there, Oasis of the Seas, Anthem, the one that you were on, will be there as well. We sail out of Baltimore, one of our older ships, but one of my favorites actually is Enchantment of the Seas. Absolutely beautiful, much smaller, more intimate, and so really excited about 2022, and kind of, we're almost halfway through the year now, and finishing the year strong.
So now, what's on tap for 2023? What should people look for? And obviously, you can book into 2023 and maybe even into
24.
2024.
Sure.
So you can plan ahead with a small deposit that holds your space. Well, what's going on for 2023 that might be new and innovative?
So here's where I feel like we get back to normal. If there is a normal, this is where we get back to that. So 4 ships back in Alaska in 2023. We're bringing over Enchantment of the Seas. So again, you're going to be able to experience Alaska on a much smaller, more intimate ship with walls of glass and just a beautiful experience there. We offer cruise tours. So these are the combination of our cruise packages on Radiance of the Seas with up to 6 or 7 additional nights on land into the interior of Alaska. We're coming back to Hawaii, so we'll have 3 ships doing some seasonal trips to Hawaii this year in 2023. I'm going to highlight a few others because the ones that I mentioned already, sailing out of our home ports, you're going to see those coming back. One of them that I'm particularly excited about, and that's Mariner of the Seas, and that's going to sail out of Port Canaveral. It's going to do these really neat 8-night cruise itineraries from August to October, where you're going to get 3 days in Bermuda. So if you've cruised with us before, you've been in the business for a while, Scott, you know that typically you cruise to Bermuda from New York or New Jersey. And we, back in the day, we've sailed to Bermuda from the Florida ports before, but this is the first time in quite a while that we're doing that. So that's really, really exciting. We'll also call on Perfect Day there as well. So you kind of get, the biggest bang for your buck there. We will have 9 ships in Europe sailing through the Mediterranean, sailing out of Rome, Barcelona, places like that. Lots of new destinations that we'll be sailing to as well. One of the ports is Ravenna in Italy, and that's actually the cruise port that will be offering our Venice excursions. But Ravenna in itself was the capital of the Roman Empire for over 300 years and just a beautiful space. So if you like architecture, churches and mosaics and art, that's the place to be. We're going to be sailing in Northern Europe. So we're going to see Iceland, the Arctic Circle, Norwegian fjords, Ireland, all of those great destinations. Really excited to see sailings starting in December of 23, sailing from Cologne, Panama. And they're going to be sailing to the ABC Islands. So Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, as well as Cartagena. So that's something different. And then I think the cherry on top is our world cruise. So here's where I will say to you that if there's anything that feels normal in my life, in my career at Royal Caribbean, because like I told you before, with us innovating as we do, the world cruise puts that cherry on top because it really solidifies the fact that Royal Caribbean is back and we're going to be continuing to do bold innovations, bold ideas. So get this, Scott, 274 nights total if you take the full world cruise.
That's like 9 months just to let you know.
December through July, right? Over 150 destinations, 60 countries, 57 different ports of call, 11 world wonders. So you're going to be able to see all 11 old world and new world wonders, and you're going to visit all 7 continents. You can break those up into 4 different expeditions. So if you don't have 274 nights, I'll say this, Scott, you know from experience that your typical world cruiser is of a certain age. I will tell you that we have families, believe it or not, that are taking the full world cruise. That's what the pandemic has done, right? People are putting their lives into perspective.
I can see that. Plus also, the fact that a lot of things, educationally can be done, remotely. And this is as much for families, it can be as much an educational trip as it is a vacation.
Oh gosh, yeah. You're
Plus
so
also,
right.
I have to say that I have to just put a quick plug in here that the Royal Caribbean internet is the best internet at sea. So we can't overlook that,
And guess what? It's included on those 274 nights.
Well,
and on the expedition.
That hopefully laundry. That's the
and laundry. And laundry is included as well. You got it.
Because that laundry is an important consideration for 274 days. Now,
we do not want you to pack 274 pairs of underwear. We want you to be able to come on comfortably and know that you can do your laundry while
I get it. Listen, I certainly understand. Now, before we go, we do have a special exclusive offer for people who listen to the Walter's Wandering Travel podcast and people who come in and book this week only through May 12th.
That's right.
It's a special Royal at Royal offering. And I'm just going to go through it right now. If you book an interior ocean view, you'll get an extra $25 additional onboard credit above and beyond any other offerings that might be available. And now if you book a balcony, you'll get $50 a stateroom. Same things apply. It doesn't matter how long the cruise is. So you can even get a 3-day cruise and get $50 of onboard credit. And if you book a suite, and the suites are very nice, there's no doubt about it, we'll throw in $100 of onboard credit. Thanks to the people at Royal Caribbean for doing that. I really appreciate that. So
happy to do it. And
it's only 1 week only. So you have from today, Cinco de Mayo, through the 12th de Mayo. Like, what is that? What is it? I know Once is 11. I don't know what 12 is in Spanish.
Diez?
I
think that's 10.
10. Well, anyway, from today through the 12th, if you book a Royal Caribbean cruise with Walter's Wandering Travel, you will get up to $100 more to spend at sea, which is really great because, if you want to play bingo or you want to do this or you want to do that, it'll be there ready for you. Now, just a couple of things before we go. The Royal Caribbean app was very helpful when I was on board.
Sure.
It's certainly, again, part of the innovations. There are, again, a lot of other spaces and a lot of other things. And every ship is different. The ones that have the boardwalk and the Central Park and the Aqua Theater, you can actually get balconies to look into the space, which is really cool, as well as the regular traditional balconies that look out to the water. So there's just so much and so many different options with Royal Caribbean. Anything else you want to add before we go?
Well, you thank you, first of all, because this has been a great 30 minutes or so, and I really appreciate you having us on. And I'll end with this, if you'll indulge me. So it's great that we have the additional onboard credit, that Loyal to Royal cruise sale for your clients. And I want to put it into more perspective, because if for those that have families out there, and that we're running our kids sale free promotion this month, that offers an additional up to $550 off, depending on the category that you book. Now you will get that, plus you'll get this additional onboard credit, plus you're going to get I guess the 8-year $8 a day onboard credit as well, right?
Exactly. 7-day cruise, it's $56 more. So
there's never been a better time to cruise.
No, and again, a small deposit can hold your space even into 2024. So it's good. You get to hold your space. You get locked and loaded into your cabin. You're all set. You can make payments at any time for any amount over like $25. This way, the accounting people don't go too crazy, and you can just pay as you go. And there's one more thing. This is a new thing called FlexPay. Just give us 1 second on that, and then we'll wrap things up.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's a really great tool, because you may have a lot of clients that like to pay over time, as currently. But we have a built-in system now where you can actually schedule payments. So if you only want to make those $50 to $75 payments as you go, it may not feel as big of a hit, making that full final payment at the end. And so it just gives you the opportunity to spread out your payments over time and really to help you budget for your vacation. So it's just been a great new tool that we have to help you.
And it's no interest, so it's not
right.
like you're taking out a loan. It's just sort of, we can schedule you the 15th and 30th of every month except for February. We can schedule you for whatever, and then you just go ahead. And definitely the pain is less when you get to take it out in little chunks instead of a big wallop at the end. I certainly understand that. Well, listen, Anthony, I really appreciate you being on with us today. We covered a lot of territory, the whole world, as a matter of fact, with Royal Caribbean. I appreciate you being on. I appreciate everyone out there listening. And again, just note, we do have the Loyal to Royal program, 1 week only, up to $100 off in onboard credit. If you book with me anytime in the month of May for a cruise, I'll give you $8 a day of onboard credit. We can do the math. It's not that hard. And there's also many, many, many things to recommend about Royal Caribbean, and I'll be happy to answer all of your questions that you may have. Anthony, thank you so much. This has been the Walters Wandering Travel Podcast. My name is Scott Walters, and we'll see you again real soon. Take care, everyone, and have a great day.